Pretty exciting game. A lot of fun. That team, especially that team, means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys and everybody that's in this room. And with that, I open up questions.
Yeah, Coach, could you go through the scenario where you use your timeouts to try to, save some time to get the offense back to the ball?
We got the ball. They got the ball back. They were in 4-minute drive there, and we didn't want to waste time at all there. We tried to jump off sides. They declined that penalty in order to give them the first down, in order to get off the grass. We knew if we could hold them to 3 and give our guys a chance to go out there and win the game, we'd have a chance. We saved just enough time for those guys to go down and march down and get that game-winning touchdown, and I thought that was well managed by us. That was well managed by the coaching staff. That was well managed by the players. You can't give those guys enough credit, the guys that go in and execute, and all the credit deserves to go to those guys on offense. We talked about operation. We talked about communication, and that was the highest level of it on both sides of the ball, all phases of the game. I'm really fired up about that.
Did you discuss the play of Kirk today and 4 or 5 on that game-winning drive?
It's really what you expect. And, it's a process in this league. It's really a process in this league, and that's the process that you go through. You're not always going to play as well as you want to play. And today he went out and played important in the biggest moments and the biggest times. And those are the things you want to have happen when you get a chance to go out there and get wins. And it was great to see today with Kirk Cousins.
A first real test for this team on the road, especially prime time, and you guys just march down the field. What's this do for you guys in terms of just carrying them around the field? You get an early game like this one.
I know you can't ride the emotional roller coaster. They're all the same. We'll go out next week and we'll attack our process and get right back to it. It's hard to say the first real test when you played a National Football League game last week. Anytime you get a chance to go line up in between those lines, it's full go. And that's what they did today, and I'm so proud of them.
Coach, did you see Kirk, look at Kirk before he went on the drive? Did you see the confidence in his face?
You know what? I did not, because I know what that confidence looks like from practice. I know what that confidence looked like from every day walking the hallway. I know what that confidence looked like from his process every day and learning and going out there and being his very best self. I didn't need to look at him at that drive. The team let him know, his guys, we looked at each other before the game and said, hey, we're going to go do it for each other, and that's exactly what they did.
Jesse Bates, touchdown-saving pass breakup, game-saving interception. How critical is he to the success of your team?
You got to give Jesse a lot of credit. You got to give everybody a lot of credit. The Eagles are a great offense, man. They can move the ball in a bunch of different ways, or various different ways. And Jesse going out there making those type of plays for us is very important. It's the reason he's here. It's the reason our ownership went out there and put all the money into it, and to what we got going on defense and offense and everything else. And it's the reason we were able to put ourselves in position to go out there and win football games. And he's just a big part of it.
Coach, how big was the offensive line tonight?
Whenever you got a chance to go run the football, my stats got wet, so I can't tell you for how much, but when you get a chance to go out there and be able to rush the football, obviously we gave up a little bit too many rushing yards on their end, but that gives us confidence. That allows us to throw the football, and when you got to go out there and make those meaningful plays and meaningful moments, that's what happens.
Did you get a bath?
I got a little one. I think Mr. Blank got one too, so I was pretty happy about it.
You were with the team in 2018. They lost divisional round games.
You're so negative right now. I don't even want to talk to you.
No, how emotionally refreshing is this for you? Because you've been with the organization for a long time. You've suffered some pretty heart-wrenching defeats in this stadium.
For me, I'm never going to ride that emotional roller coaster, right? Every game you go out there and it's a process, right? You play the game, you go out there and try to win, you try to give it your best efforts, and you got to be able to deal with those reality of those results. And we won't ride that way. We won't talk about the 2018 or 17, whatever it was in the playoff game when we couldn't quite get it done to go on to move on to the next round. But, they're all bad. They all hurt. Every time you go out there and you get a chance, you don't get done what you want to get done, there are always going to be ones that hurt. There are always going to be ones that sting.
How does this feel to be, this is your first victory of the season? How does it feel?
I'm pretty easygoing. I'm pretty steady. And I didn't come here to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I was brought here to go out here and try to put ourselves in position to win championships, and that's what we want to do.
I understand what you're saying about the emotional roller coaster, but is it possible that a moment like this and proof of concept in a big moment can unlock things and just sort of free things up and give you a little more confidence?
I'm sure we'll find out, right? You get a chance to go out there and play the game every week, and you got to get these guys ready for the next opponent, right? I said it last week. You can't let Pittsburgh beat you twice, and I'm going to say it this week. You can't let this go in the way and get in the way of what you're trying to do for the following week. We got a short week coming up, and we got to go right back at it.
Can you speak to just imagine the advantage of being 1-1 and gaining a win like this versus being 0-2 if that last drive hasn't worked out?
Yeah, I don't want to speak in hypotheticals. I'm happy we are where we are, and we're excited about that. We'll move on to our next opponent. We got a pretty good quarterback coming into town, and we can't wait to see him.
There's so much talk in the league about what makes the difference between a quarterback who can't get over the hump and a guy who does, a guy who can do it. Is it moments like that? Is it that last drive? Is that the separator?
No, those moments come in the playoffs. We're a long way from that. You know, we got to get out here and try to put ourselves in position to get into those competitive moments so we can show those things. We haven't shown that yet. We've shown the fact that we can go into somebody else's stadium and win a game, and we've shown we can win in a 2-minute drive. And those are important for us to go find out.
Could you discuss Drake London's play after, just 2 catches last week and a really play today in the game?
You know,
Catches and the touchdown one at the end.
You know, it's not just Drake. You know, we didn't play well on offense last week. I was very clear about that. We played a lot better today. Well, obviously, we'll go look at the tape, and Drake played a big part of that, and so did a bunch of other people, whether it be Bijan, whether it be Tyler Algier, whether it be all the guys, the O-line going out there really giving the best efforts and looking forward. And that's what you got to do. You got to get better and better every time you go out. And with great energy, he provided us with great physical presence, all the things that he does. Drake's just a great man, and we're glad he's on our football team.
And Mooney made big contributions for today, too.
He did, man. All those guys, man. They got high expectations.
I know it's hard to assess offense.
There in the football field, in the practice field, and now bringing it to the games so you guys can see it on Monday Night Football is very special to us.
Why are you holding the ball?
I got a game ball, Tori. The guys gave it to me, and, I've gotten a lot of game balls in my day. This one is really special because of that team, because of the people that work in our building, which you are well familiar with, and for the guys that we're doing it for. When you're talking about Terry, you're talking about Greg Beatles, you're talking about Rich McKay, you're talking about Arthur Blank, you're talking about Josh, you're talking about Max, you're talking about all the guys that sit in those rooms with us and do all the things we want to do, all our limited partners that are here today. All of those guys, it's special in our building. We want to make this thing a special place for us. Everybody but Bassity. Jukes, you're special too.
Anything else?
How much of the final drive was planned out, or was it just Zach was kind of going play by play?
We went to 2-minute drive, and you practice the 2-minute situation a bunch. We were to get into our 2-minute offense, and we had a couple openings within their defense, and Kirk made a bunch of throws, and Zach closed it out. You got to give credit where credit is due. He called an excellent game. We had to get some of those. O'Shea had some of those touchdown drives back that were 3, but whatever. He went out there and scored when it was most important time. He was his best when his best was required.
You just mentioned that Zach called an excellent game. How much can this do for his confidence?
I don't know if he ever lost confidence. I don't know if you've been around our building at all, but our building does not lack confidence. And he's a guy with authentic swagger. He was brought here because of his mental toughness. He was brought here because of his juice that he's able to bring to what we're able to do. He was brought here to create with these offensive players that we have, and I never lost confidence in that.
How much did your plan change when they threw the ball on 3rd down? How much did that allow you to do more?
Which one are we talking about?
On the final drive, when they threw the ball on 3rd down, throw the incomplete pass, probably gives you, 30 extra seconds.
That gives you a little bit extra time. The whole key there was to get off the grass, and however it was, whatever the case may be, whatever time you needed, you got 30 extra seconds. We were able to score, leaving 32 seconds for those guys to go out there and score. We held up on defense. They did not, and we got the win.
Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Locker room's open out that way.
Thank you.
Rob.
That way.
Here and get a win. We had to do it any way we could, and it as so many NFL games do, really came down to the final drive. Just proud of the way we kept playing, kept fighting, and we leaned on each other. It was really a team win. We needed special teams, needed defense, needed offense, and needed all phases of football within our different parts of the team to be able to win. So just proud of the way we played, proud of the way we found a way to win, and we can build on that. And I think it'll build some character and some resolve in our group, and really looking forward to building on that up ahead, because we got a short week against a really good opponent now, which is the way the NFL is. So take any questions you have.
The mindset you had as a team going down there in that final drive, just the confidence you guys showed, just how much of that confidence came through for that team and for you and for the offensive line.
Yeah, we protected well. Guys were dialed in on their routes and made plays. The coverage structures, you're kind of wanting to see, okay, how are they going to play this? And they obviously are willing to surrender some yards. They just can't give up that final touchdown. So felt like, the first throw was pretty contested, but then had a couple where it felt like they were allowing us to be able to throw things underneath or down the field as long as we weren't getting over their heads. And then as we got closer, I thought, okay, now the coverage is going to tighten. And that was really where it was so important that Drake was able to win to the front pylon there because, we were getting tighter where now it was going to be, tight throws.
As the guy who comes in here as the big free agent acquisition, I wonder if it's these moments that you feel the pressure to go out and validate that, or do you think that way?
That's not how I think. I'm just trying to play football, help our teammates win, get out of here with a win, enjoy playing, enjoy the competition, enjoy the challenge, the opportunity, the resolve you have to have, trying to rally. Having fun with that, and hopefully being able to, give other guys great opportunities. And so that's really where my mind goes.
I understand there were a few you like that's in the locker room after the game. I wonder if you can circle back to any moments in your career. We've had a similar drive, a similar moment that maybe, got the ball rolling with a certain group or a certain team.
Yeah, it's so important to find ways to win, and that's how you put together a great season is, when you have these games that could go either way, you find a way to have it break your way. And that's the way this league is, and so when we can find those inches, it can really change the tail of the season. So we're going to have more of those up ahead, and we're going to have to keep, as a whole team, finding ways to make the plays to get it done. And it wasn't just, it's Koo making the long extra point. It's our defense standing up at the end, too. And I've been a part of games where you go down and score, and then you walk out of here with a loss because you missed that extra point and you go to overtime or you don't get the stop at the end. So it really does take everybody to find a way to come out of here with a win.
In that last game situation, does it feel like you all weren't thinking it was just let's wing it because we have to win, so it's much less thinking, I should say, more so than just you're all...
Yeah, anytime you have a 6-point deficit, there's not much you're trying to hold on to. If you're playing with a tie game, maybe you got to be more aware of the negative play that could give the team the ball back in good field position. But when you're down 6, you can certainly, go for broke. And but just try to take what they gave us and move our way down the field. And we were able to get some chunks that basically got us down there low enough where the clock wasn't really our enemy. And did a good job of getting guys out to the sideline and getting them out of bounds. But still had to make that play, in tight coverage at the end, and that's where I was so proud of Drake for the route he ran and the way he separated and made it easy on me.
Did you all feel like you all unlocked some things on the offense today?
Yeah, you never know. I think it's always play to play, week to week. You can never say, oh, we unlocked things and now it's going to be this or that way. No, you just keep fighting every play, and you never know what the next snap's going to bring.
Several of the players said that you were chill during that last drive. You have several young players. Why was it important for you to keep the team calm during that last drive?
Well, I just kind of go through my process pretty methodically. If we're down by 30, up by 30, or in a tight game, you just have your reads, your process, your footwork, your snap count, your play clock. You're just going through your process and trying to find the open guy. And there's so much we need to do better from this game, but grateful for the way the result worked out.
Kirk, what kind of conversations, if any, did you have with Zach after the game? And is there any play you can think of that was relevant to any of the voice notes you sent him where you talked about a concept on a voice note and then you executed a play on that tonight?
No, it was pretty straightforward, but no, he was great. He was his usual self, calm, and we were on the same page throughout the game and just shook each other's hand in the locker room afterwards. Obviously, we're thrilled with the result, but we're going to keep building a rapport. I think that it's a work in progress to, I'm excited about more time on task together, not just with Zach, but with TJ as my quarterback coach, with my teammates. Just every rep out there, we're learning more about each other, and it's going to make us a better offense over the course of the year.
Kirk, I think it was week 2 last year, you were here in Minnesota.
That's right.
Primetime loss.
Yep.
Week 2 this year, you're here for a primetime win. A lot of life has happened in between. Do you ever take a second
Right.
to kind of just think about what the last year's been like?
Yeah, no, I've played here in Philly 10 times in my career and had some pretty impactful games, both wins and losses. And, the big one that hit me was I went to the hotel last night and Nick Foles and his parents were there, and Nick and I were freshmen together at Michigan State in 2007, and that's when last time I'd seen his parents. And so to think back on 17, 18 years, you know, and what's transpired. And when Nick and I arrived as freshmen, I thought, you know, there was concern about how this was going to work out for both of us. And I was kind of reminded, you know, with him getting honored tonight, and said to him at the coin toss, you know, it worked out. It worked out for both of us. And so I was just reflecting last night and today a little bit on our journeys and just God's blessing of both of our football careers and our families and just His goodness. And so playing here tonight kind of brought back a lot of those memories on my journey, and it was a fun way to win it.
Kirk, you spread the ball around. 6 receivers were able to get catches tonight.
Yeah.
Talk about how valuable that is.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I've always played. If you go back to Washington, Minnesota, you know, try to distribute the ball, get it to a lot of different guys, get everybody involved, find the open guy. And so I like knowing that a lot of guys are getting involved. But just try to go where my reads take me. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, they did a phenomenal job running the football. I thought Zach did a phenomenal job committing to running the football. And Bijan and Tyler ran hard. O-line blocked it well, handled pressure well. Our receivers do a great job blocking in the run game, and our tight ends as well. So was pleased with that. I think it gave us a great chance on the road, you know, to be able to have success. And then we didn't have the penalties. You know, when you have a holding or something that takes you to 2nd and 20, it's hard to run the football. But when you stay in, you know, 2nd and 3, you know, Zach has his whole call sheet in front of him. So staying out of the penalties, staying out of the longer yardages, give us the ability to run the football.
Kirk, you ran some questions earlier this week about your Monday night record. I wonder if doing this tonight on Monday Night Football has any extra validation for you, or, you know, does it feel any better?
This is not the world I live in to go out at that. You know, I just try to go out and play football the best I can, whether it's noon on Sunday or, you know, night game, what day of the week it is. You just try to go play your best and, you know, and kind of let it go from there.
Kirk, you talked about last week, the message from Raw before the Steelers game was to play clean and
Yeah,
aggressive
yeah,
offense.
right.
What was the message before this one, and do you feel like you guys were clean and aggressive?
Yeah, we were better. There's still a long ways to go. You know, I think we were better handling the noise and just our operation. Certainly penalties, you know, avoiding that. But yeah, no, he challenged us again. You know, got great communication. We just got to be a sharp operation because we have the players that if we can, you know, execute correctly, you know, the athletes on the field are going to be able to make plays for us. And so, you know, we're thrilled with the outcome tonight, and then we got a lot to clean up in the process.
I know that it's so early in the season and you don't want to weigh so heavily on one win on Monday Night Football,
Yeah.
but what is special about this one with this group?
Well, coming from behind, you know, finding a way on the road in a tough environment against a good football team, you know, that builds resolve, builds some grit, builds some character that we're going to have to lean on as the year goes on. And this is how NFL football is, you know, and so we've got to kind of get used to this and get comfortable in this because that's how these games tend to go. And so the more we can be battle tested and have these moments, I think it would set us up well for what's coming down the road.
Got time for one more? Any sense of what's happening on 3rd down, maybe 1 or 8? If you can get to it.
It's not good enough, D-Led. It's not good enough. We got to be better. I don't have a great answer for you as to why. I got to go back and look at it. Some of it was 3rd down in the low red zone, which I would say probably more is a red zone issue than a 3rd down issue. I think each individual play is its own entity as to what's going on or what's happening. But and then you had the O-zone situation where the ball's got to go out of bounds or to the end zone where you cannot take a sack. So it kind of sped up my read when I missed Kyle open and for a touchdown. I just didn't feel like I could go through my traditional read because I could not take a sack. We would miss out on a field goal, so I kind of had to rush it and throw the ball away. But we got to be better on 3rd down. You know, we're not going to win a lot of games if we're not better on 3rd down, better in the red zone, and more efficient as an offense.
All right,
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, man.